Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. First tonight, Tasmania is stepping up its defences against the Delta strain of the coronavirus, currently running rampant in New South Wales. A 4-point plan has been unveiled by the state government to keep COVID out and Tasmanians safe. For more, our reporter Meg Sides joins us now. Meg, what does the plan involve?
Good evening, Kim. Well, as you said, the Delta Shield plan focuses on 4 key areas. Starting today, we will see the state's border controls become even tougher, a super 6-week vaccine blitz with more groups set to become eligible, additional resources put towards COVID testing, tracking and tracing, and additional support is set to be offered to businesses impacted by the border closures. Here's what the Premier had to say earlier today. The 4-point plan to strengthen Tasmania's response to the deadly strain of coronavirus.
Delta has changed everything.
Taking additional steps to make sure Delta doesn't enter the state as we learn hard lessons from our neighbours.
Victoria and New South Wales are now combating a new health and economic crisis.
Stronger border controls, a vaccine blitz, enhanced testing, tracking and tracing, and business support now the priority in Tasmania.
Border control is really one of the first lines of defence for us.
Fines doubling for those who flawed the rules from Friday this week.
Those people that arrive at our borders and who've previously been rejected and told not to come because they've been in a high-risk area, the on-the-spot fine will increase to $1,557.
Our border with New South Wales will remain shut for the foreseeable future. Victorians remain locked out for at least 2 to 4 weeks, while Queensland will be reconsidered on Friday.
If you get vaccinated, you're much less likely to die of COVID, much less likely to end up in hospital.
And that is why we're announcing today a super 6-week campaign to boost our rate of vaccination.
The blitz will see opening hours at vaccine clinics extended, with 30 to 59-year-olds targeted. The aim is to have more than 60% of those eligible with their first dose by mid-September. Vaccines for other age groups coming online over the next month. On August 23, college students will be able to get their jab, with 19 to 29-year-olds to follow early September.
Learning the lessons of what we are seeing on the mainland. But we absolutely do need to use every vaccine that we get in Tasmania and get them into Tasmanian arms.
While tourism and hospitality businesses are looking forward to a much-needed booster shot, struggling with the impacts of ongoing border closures.
We're basically in a lockdown because we can't get anyone in from their states.
A support package for businesses doing it tough, close to being finalised with the Commonwealth.
It'll be more like the disaster relief payments. It'll be targeted grants to businesses that are impacted.
More details will be released in the coming days, with hopes applications could be open next week. The industry says it can't come fast enough.
A lot of venues are telling me at the moment they don't have their casual staff on, like some had 40 casuals, they're down to 2. We need to support these venues so we can support our staff.
Also serving as a call to arms for those who received their travel vouchers today, hoping to breathe life into an industry once again left struggling for air. Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
A female kayaker has been rescued in tough weather conditions in the River Derwent. Police say 2 kayakers were paddling from Cornelian Bay to South Arm when they became separated just before 1 p.m. The companion then called for emergency assistance. Air searchers located the woman near Ralphs Bay and she was winched to safety. She was flown to the Royal Hobart Hospital by the Westpac Rescue helicopter for medical assessments. It came as wild winds and rain lashed parts of the state, causing trees and power lines to come down. Robert Peter Mathewson has been found guilty by a jury on 3 counts of unlawfully setting fire to vegetation. The 36-year-old from Mangana started fires in the Fingal Valley on the 8th, 18th and 30th of December 2019. The last of the 3 blazes quickly got out of control, threatening the nearby town of Fingal over the coming weeks. The jury heard closing remarks from the defence this morning before taking just over 4 hours to return the guilty verdict. Sentencing submissions will be heard tomorrow. Thieves have stooped to a low level, robbing a West Launceston house gutted by a fire yesterday. Police confirmed a lawnmower and other belongings were stolen overnight from the charred Denison Grove property, which suffered $500,000 damage. Investigations have deemed the cause of the fire as accidental. Well, tension is building in Deloraine tonight, with more than 100 people piling in for a council meeting about the Westbury prison proposal. Our reporter Garth Burley is live in Deloraine. Now, Garth, exactly how many people have arrived for tonight's meeting?
Well, Kim, close to 350 people registered for this forum, aside from the many that are tuning in online, which gives a small insight into how much interest there is in this project. This was commanded by the community through a heavily supported petition calling for a public meeting into the $270 million proposed Westbury prison project. Although the outcome of this meeting is a little less clear, the council says it has no power to change this decision because the development application has not been submitted by the state government. This has been a drawn-out process for the Westbury community, divided about the pros and cons of the prison. All views will be laid bare tonight. The new site at Birrelly Road has done little to quell the fears of opponents who believe it poses an environmental and economic risks.
We've got huge concerns about all of the native wildlife that runs through there, including devils, quails, masked owl, wedge-tail eagle, which are all present on this site.
Tonight is about listening to the community and taking their views into account, with the idea that sometime in the new year the state government will put forward a development application.
The meeting has just started in the last 10 minutes or so and is expected to run until 8 tonight in what's expected to be a testing couple of hours. Kim?
Well, a self-styled marine messiah has stepped into the takeover war surrounding Huon aquaculture. Mining mogul Andrew Twiggy Forrest has upped his stake in the company, demanding a cleaner future for fish farms. Now the pressure is on meat giant JBS, which needs the support of shareholders like Twiggy to back its bid.
Just as JBS seemed to have hooked its $500 million takeover of Huon.
Hello, my name is Andrew Forrest.
The billionaire blindsiding the Brazilian meat giant.
Now I've become even more resolute and doubled my stake in Huon.
To nearly a fifth of the company, potentially torpedoing JBS's plan.
This appears to be primarily an activist approach from Andrew Forrest. He's trying to change some of the practices of JBS.
Those practices surround marine welfare and the industry's sustainability.
I say to JBS, will you commit to make Huon environmentally neutral?
But with JBS needing 75% of shareholders to support its takeover and Twiggy Forrest holding an 18% stake, his support could be critical.
It's likely that JBS will respond to Andrew Forrest in some form. Whether or not this is likely to change the structure of the takeover approach remains to be seen.
Advocates welcome the intervention, but
actions speak much louder than words. Dr. Forrest will be welcomed by Tasmanians with open arms if he's prepared to stand up and do what he says that he wants to do, which is to rein in a rogue industry.
Even a civil war is brewing. Huon's founders slamming their new shareholders' criticisms, saying the company's environmental methods have since been adopted by other salmon farmers. Shareholders will vote on the takeover bid in the coming months. Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
The Mount Wellington Cableway Company has lodged an appeal against Hobart City Council's rejection of its planning application. The move could see a costly legal battle drag on for months before a decision on the cable car's future is made.
The cable car debate has divided Hobart for years, and it's set to continue for many months to come, with the proponents taking their battle all the way up to the appeals tribunal.
After consultation with our advisors, our planners, our lawyers and our shareholders, a number of Tasmanian families, we've decided to lodge an appeal.
The decision comes just weeks after Hobart City Council accepted a report which recommended 21 reasons why the development shouldn't go ahead.
This has been a development that's been comprehensively rejected by the experts, and we just simply wonder when they're going to stop flogging a dead horse.
The state government hasn't ruled out stepping in to help the project get off the ground, keeping a close eye on how the process plays out.
We've, as a government and myself as well, have certainly supported the merit of a cable car for Mount Wellington, but in terms of the process, that must be gone through in the usual way.
The appeal process could drag on for a matter of months, but both sides of the cable car debate have vowed not to give up their fight.
We are prepared. We believe we have a strong case. We have strong shareholder support. And the bottom line is the mountain needs to be managed better than it is now.
We'll never stop our defence of Kununyi Mount Wellington and stand up to protect the mountain. We'll take legal and planning advice about our role in the planning appeal.
No doubt a costly contest which could help determine if a cable car on Mount Wellington ever gets off the ground. Ainsley Kosh, 7 Tasmanian News.
More than half the state has not filled out its census forms, facing a fine of more than $200 a day. The Bureau of Statistics has only received 117,000 Tasmanian responses as of earlier today. Households who fail to complete the form or give false information can be penalised. Anyone needing assistance can complete their census over the phone or online. The state's seafood and maritime industry has been given a boost with a new training vessel commissioned today. Named the Navigator, the boat will be put to good use, helping more than 1,500 students each year.
Quite a range of courses will be used, and we've made some modifications to make it entirely appropriate to house students for training, education and assessing.
It's the largest single investment seafood and maritime training has made. A new CEO has been appointed to the Taste of Summer Festival ahead of its relaunch in December. Blunston Arena General Manager Stephen McMullen will take up the role in the coming weeks and is promising to bring a fresh flair to the revamped festival.
We're just really passionate about ensuring that this event goes ahead. So I think with my skill set, I was a good choice to be involved, and it's something that we're really passionate to see go ahead.
Steve's skills and experience in running large-scale events makes him the natural choice for this role.
Organisers say further details around ticket pricing and crowd numbers will be revealed shortly. Tasmanian girls are being encouraged to pursue careers in the property and architecture sector. A new program is set to launch in schools across the state, allowing female students to meet successful women in the industry.
Flipping through the plans of a new development. These industry leaders ready to inspire the next generation of female property figures.
The industry contributes $3 billion back into the state's economy, directly supports 25,000 jobs and indirectly supports 25,000 more. And that female participation rate in the industry is currently sitting at around 29%.
The Girls in Property pilot program hoping to change that statistic by bringing professionals into the classroom and share the pathways on offer.
We'll work with schools across Tasmania and identify Year 9 and 10 students and offer them different career opportunities that they wouldn't have usually thought of.
There's a variety of jobs between whether you're really analytical and like your data, or whether you're really creative and want to design fantastic buildings like I get to do.
The program is a first for Tasmania, already successful across the country, also highlighting the industry's future and the push for more women into leadership roles.
I think, there'll be some big changes in the next sort of 10 to 20 years when people in my age group end up taking over.
Ruby Kamane, 7 Tasmanian News.
While many of us know Dorothy and her ruby red slippers, the backstory of the Witches of Oz is being told at St Michael's Collegiate School. More than 50 students from years 9 to 12 premiering their musical performance of Wicked tonight, exploring the land of Oz through the eyes of Glinda, the Good Witch, and Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West.
The story is about acceptance, so we come together and we find ourselves in the story.
It's huge, it's a big challenge, and it's just such a great story. How can you not love that kind of excitement? And you know, it's such a big show, and we're really proud of what we've been able to achieve.
The production will run at the school this week until Saturday. Tasmanian fisherman Michael Deppeler has landed a catch certainly worth bragging about, reeling in the first of 50 tagged brown trout. He caught the $2,000 fish alongside his kids in the River Derwent on Sunday. The angler plans to spend his winnings on more fishing gear. 15 waterways across Tasmania hold the lucrative trout.
AFL will return to Tasmania from its COVID holiday with the Hawks and Bulldogs match to go ahead as planned. The crowd at Launceston's UTAS Stadium will be capped at 10,000 and all will be required to wear masks. Teams and support staff will fly into Tasmania on a chartered plane and fly out after the game. The Premier says they pose a minimal COVID risk.
Teams are already in COVID bubbles. Players are tested up to 3 times a week. and obviously they need to provide a negative test prior to travelling.
The match is set to be played this Saturday. A snap roster change could see Tasmania's NBL1 teams playing in Mount Gambier this weekend. After yet another round of cancellations, the Launceston Tornadoes rushed to secure flights to South Australia to keep the Rocky season alive.
We know that Melbourne probably won't play for another few weeks, so we may be playing against Hobart again and maybe Mount Gambier here. We're not really sure. We just had this game this Saturday confirmed.
The league is yet to publicly lock in the fixture changes. The Torns say a final series squeezed into one weekend is also being considered. Meanwhile, the Jack Jumpers' first contracted player has landed in Tasmania ahead of the season, with the rest of the squad to soon join amid border disruptions. Western Australian import Clint Steindl coming to the state on a 2-year deal after playing for the Perth Wildcats since 2017.
It means a lot. I mean, this is, I guess, coming into a new club, being able to establish, I guess, this franchise in the Tasmanian community.
It's fantastic. It means basketball is really starting here, and it's really going to happen. And we're just jacked to have them in town.
The Jack Jumpers' inaugural season is still expected to start in mid-October, but may be pushed back due to COVID-19 restrictions.
Good evening. Flinders Island with 19, the high today. Hobart reached 16, Launceston and Burnie 13 and Devonport 14. Friendly Beaches 17 today, Grosvenor News 15, Smithton, Low Head and St Helens 14 degrees, Strawn and King Island 13, Lyoweeney managed 6. Low Rocky Point recorded the highest rainfall today with 25 millimetres, Lyoweeney next best on 18, all from that cloud produced from the cold front over us. That front also affects areas as far back as Central Australia. Colder air is being brought on shore over the Bight as well. A little more cloud over parts of the east and north of the continent. Tomorrow, a broad area of high pressure to our far northwest maintains the gusty westerly airflow over Tasmania. A trough lies to our east. Those westerlies up to 40 knots, dropping to 20 to 30 knots over the north and northeast, and lighter there later in the day. Swells rising to 7 metres. A gale warning for all Tasmanian coastal waters, a strong wind warning for the Central Plateau Lakes and the southwest lakes. We also have a minor flood warning for the Huon, Meander, Macquarie and the North and South Esks, a flood watch for the Derwent and rivers in the northeast, northwest and southeast. Plenty of water flowing through, an early shower continuing for Hobart and 13 the top, 13 also for Cygnet and New Norfolk. Launceston, a high tomorrow of 14 degrees and partly cloudy. Early shower clearing from Devonport, 14 the top, partly cloudy in Campbelltown. A cool start, 13 the high later. 13 for Burnie with a shower or two. Winds easing from Strawn, 13 the maximum, 14 for Smithton. St Helens, a top tomorrow of 15 degrees and mostly sunny. Bit of cloud over Swansea, but fine, 15 the top, 13 for Fingal. On Friday, showery and windy again, but just partly cloudy over the east. Fine on Saturday, apart from showers over the north, west and far south. And on Sunday, the winds picking up again with showers across the state. A shower or two in Perth and Adelaide tomorrow, partly cloudy in Melbourne and Sydney, but mostly sunny, 25 in Brisbane. Cloudy in Hobart at the moment, 11. Showery in Launceston, 10 right now, and 11 degrees in Devonport. Just distracted a bit there. Tom Johnson's run out of the building. He's got to get home to watch Farmer Wants a Wife reunion. He's the biggest fan, you wouldn't believe it.
He's not even here to defend himself, Merv. That is evil. And that's all your news for now. We'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us this evening. Good night.